Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Myself Amin Asghar and I am presenting Wheel feed defects. First time discuss wheel pathway. Wheel information transmit from retina to wheel cortex in the occipital lobe. There are rods and cones or photoreceptor cells. When light rays or photons of light coming from object of interest into the fall on retina, then they stimulate photoreceptor cells. These photoreceptor cells convert this light energy into electrical signals. These photoreceptor cells synapse with retinal bipolar cells, and then these retinal bipolar cells propagated to retinal ganglion cells. Retinal ganglion cells converge at optic disc and form optic nerve. So, each retinal ganglion cell contains 120 million optic nerve fibers. These the left optic nerve and right optic nerve converge and form optic chiasm. From optic chiasm extend into thalamus and lateral geniculate nucleus. From lateral geniculate nucleus, optic radiations emanate into the visual cortex or occipital lobe. Now we discuss lions. There are two types of lions, anopia and hemianopia. Anopia is the total blindness in one eye. It is due to damage to optic nerve. Hemianopia, half of the visual field for one eye affected. It is due to lion at optic chiasm. If there is a lion at optic nerve of left or right eye, there is a total blindness on the right or left eye. If there is a lion in nasal optic nerve, then there is a right nasal hemianopia. Temporal part of the object of interest, light rays fall on the nasal retina, while nasal part fall on the temporal retina. They are contralateral to each other, these rays and these fibers. If there is a lion in optic tract, then there is a incongruous left homonymous hemianopia. There is also a left eye because the left temporal nerve fibers also cross over the right nasal fibers. If there is a lion in optic radiations, there is a congruous left homonymous hemianopia. If there is a lion in optic chiasm, there is a bitemporal hemianopia. Now, if there is a lion in one or two fibers of the optic radiation, then there is a lower temporal field, then there is a congruous left upper quadrant field defect. If there is a lion in upper temporal field, then there is a inferior quadrant anopia. Now we discuss bitemporal hemianopia and homonymous hemianopia. As bitemporal hemianopia, I am discussed that it is caused due to lion in the optic chiasm, loss of the temporal half of the vision in both eyes. In homonymous hemianopia, it is due to caused by macular sparing. Macula in the retina is responsible for high resolution visual acuity and provide high resolution image. Macula is if macula damaged, then there is a lion in the occipital lobe or occipital cortex in occipital lobe. Macula is responsible for high resolution image. If if there is blood supply is interrupted, then there is inflammation in macula or lion in macula. When blood supply is interrupted, then the occipital cortex, which processed Optic radiations does not function properly, has no ability to function properly. So central scotoma or macular degeneration lesion is at the tip of the left occipital lobe. If central scotoma is preserved but everything is lost, everything around the central scotoma is lost, then the glaucoma occur or constricted visual field. Papillomacular bundle defects. A central scotoma involves the point of central fixation. It's always associated with decreased visual acuity. When central scotoma, when central fixation affects, then visual acuity also decreased because it is responsible for high resolution visual acuity. A centrocecal scotoma involves the point of central fixation and the area between the blind spot and fixation point, while a paracentral scotoma affects an area of the visual field that is nasal or temporal to the point of central fixation. In papillomacular bundle defects, only paracentral scotoma affects the area of the visual fields. In visual pathway, only 6 things we discuss: optic nerve, optic chiasm, optic tract, lateral geniculate nucleus, optic radiations, and occipital cortex. And also we discuss lesions at these areas. In visual pathway, at this area, midbrain is present, in which many cranial nerves are the cranial nerves which are responsible for extraocular support the extraocular muscles are present, and also superior colliculus is present, which are responsible for the reflexes of the eyes. We does not discuss the superior colliculus and these midbrain nerves because we only discuss the visual pathway lesions, so that's not included in visual pathway because they are responsible for reflexes of eye, and the Ettinger western nucleus is just constricts the pupil, so we does not discuss. That is the visual field pathway and visual field defects. Thank you.